Hey guys, what is up? Divine Venom back again. And right now I'm just trying to go for another weapon from the box. And I got the Dragunov for a second time in this match. Actually more like a second time in 5 minutes. So today I want to talk more about strategy and zombies in general. So basically what's going on right now is we've just launched the rocket after linking all 3 of the lunar pads. And as I said before, if you shoot the rocket with a ray gun as it's taking off, ×2 will drop underneath where the rocket was, and that also reveals the pack-a-punch room, which is just branches off of where the rocket takes off. So let's talk about map layout. So right here, where we're kind of camping, if you will, back here, there's a big open platform area. And that's especially good in single player. It works extremely well for multiplayer, but especially in single player, for one reason only. There is a lot of open room. If you can get a lot of open room between you and the zombies, you will be perfectly fine. The reason we choose this location is, first of all, there's a lander pad there. And if you have a lander pad there, and let's say 2 or 3 of your teammates are down, you can tell them to crawl onto the lander pad and you can launch it, and from the lander pad while you're on it they can crawl around and you can revive them. So it's like almost like a revive spot, if you will. Also it's a kind of a cooldown area if you want to just get away from the action and use the lander. Mind you, it might take you to a worse position where you might get cornered. Also up there, if you go up the stairs to the right when you're looking down at the zombies, there's a little sort of catwalk. And you can jump off of there in a worst case scenario and just run straight down the map through the middle. Also up there, there's the PhD flopper, and as you can see, it's up about 7, 8, 9 maybe steps, which means the PhD flopper is effective. So basically with the PhD flopper, I'm pretty sure that's what it is if it's not PH. Basically what it does is, if you dolphin dive off of a height other than just dolphin diving at ground level, you'll create a small explosion. And that explosion is almost like a mini nuke for any zombies that are around you. It'll kill them all. Or make some possible crawlers, but normally it will kill them. And if 2 or 3 of your teammates have PhD flopper, then you can just completely cycle it so it's constant explosions going at the bottom of the stairs and no zombies can get up. Also, over in that area, if you're the last one left on your team or you're playing single player, you can run in a circle. And when you're running in the circle, the zombies are obviously going to come up near you. But when you run around the lander, there's always going to be a gap in the zombies while they're chasing you. So you'll be able to run in a constant circle as long as you find that gap. Also, if you're out of ammo and you're running in that circle, there's grenades up by there, and although it might not be the most effective tool, it's almost like an infinite ammo in a way. And at this point I actually go down because I get cornered, and that's one thing you definitely do not want to do when you're running the circle, is get cornered. Because then the zombies will swarm all around you and you have nowhere to run. Now luckily my friend here, Divine Edges, he comes by and picks me up. And then I'm gonna run over and get another one of the guys I'm playing with named Trey. Also there are I believe 3 bears located around the map. I mean obviously there's more, but there's 3 special bears. They have the scythe or the sickle in their hand, and that's how you can identify them. And if you walk up to them and hold down X, you'll hear this. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think it's the sound of the ray gun shooting. And they will basically, if you hit all 3 of them, they will start playing music. Now I don't know what the song is, but it's actually very cool. I like it a lot, and I'm pretty sure you can't find it on iTunes because I looked for it. So it's pretty original to this game. And I'm pretty sure the same person sings it that they sung in Keener de Toten, I think it was the map, when you got all 3 of the mini meteorite things. Now I want to talk about my personal favorite weapons that I can get from the box. Now, obviously, there's things like the ray gun and LMGs, but I want to talk about the best weapons that you've never used. So, for me, I was trying out some new weapons because we were doing this thing where we basically pull 2 weapons from the box and we have to use those weapons for the rest of the game. We can upgrade them and we have to try to survive off the first 2 weapons we pull. Well, lucky me pulled 2 sniper rifles. And I thought, I'm dead. I have no chance if I have 2 sniper rifles in my hand. It turned out that once they were upgraded, they were absolutely amazing. Not only did both snipers get variable zoom on their scopes, which isn't that important, but when you put distance between you and the zombies, it becomes a good factor that you can have different levels of zoom on your sniper rifle. Excuse me. I believe that the L96 is a one-shot kill upgraded throughout the entire game. Now that's what I personally think. I'm not sure if it's true. Also, the Dragunov, although it is semi-automatic, takes 2 shots even when upgraded after a certain level. I think it's like level 15. But it's still an amazing weapon to fire into crowds and things. Because when the zombies are swarming, especially with the L96, if you just no-scope, you're likely to take out a few of them. Also, my friend got the Divine Edges, got the Spaz when we were playing. And he was kind of skeptical at first that it would be any good, or sorry, skeptical. But after he upgraded, the Spaz actually became automatic, and instead of having to feed in every individual bullet, it was now clip fed. Also, it carried, I believe, 40 ammo and had an 80 extra ammo capacity. But personally, what I've been wanting to try out a lot, but I think you can only get it on Canner Dayton, is the excuse me, upgraded Olympia. Now, the upgraded Olympia actually carries Dragon's Breath rounds, which are incendiary rounds, lighting the zombies on fire. Now, some may say the only thing worse than a zombie is a zombie on fire. Luckily, they do no damage to you when they rush you. Well, obviously they'll do damage, but not because of the fire. It actually kills them faster, and they can ignite each other, which is crazy when they're in groups. Now, personally, I'd still be going for at least 1 LMG or 1 assault rifle if I'm gonna, go with the sniper or the shotgun. But I'm just saying you shouldn't toss them aside when you first get them. The only weapons that I truly believe aren't that great in the later rounds are the Python, and mainly because after round 15, it's a 2-shot kill even upgraded, and also it's slow to reload, although after it's upgraded it has a speed reloader. And at this point I'm actually upgrading my weapons so I can continue on further. I upgraded my HK-21. Sorry, excuse me. I believe that the ray gun upgraded, sometimes, although this is rare, I find it worse than say a LMG, especially if you have sleight of hand on the LMG, because I find sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but for me personally, there will sometimes be a zombie that just will not die from the ray gun. Even when you shoot in the chest, it takes about 4 shots, because it's almost like the game doesn't register the shots hitting. Now, whether that's just me or that's everyone, when you're getting rushed, that's not a very good thing to happen. Because if that happens, that's one more zombie coming straight at you, and the ray gun's meant to sort of save you if you're getting rushed or something like that. I also want to talk about perks. So, obviously, things like Juggernog, well, to most people, are important. Some people do not know how valuable Juggernog actually is, because it takes you from getting down in 2 hits, which actually sometimes seems like 1 when a zombie gets a lucky shot in, to taking 5 hits before you go down. So you can even get mobbed a little bit by zombies, and you'll still be able to take them down and survive. Also, things like sleight of hand may seem super important, but that's something that's extremely expensive, being 3,000 points, and when the monkeys come, is pretty far away from any other perks. Now, of course, it is very good, and it's definitely something to have, especially just after a monkey round, maybe. But I'd say even things like PhD flopper in the early rounds and even the later rounds is actually a little more important than, say, sleight of hand, just because of all the extra points you can pick up with it. And if multiple people on your team would have said like PhD flopper, you can just thin the lines of zombies so much that the people in the back with the guns that are going to be shooting can just take them out in a couple of shots, and there won't even be that many zombies. Things like stamina up. If you're in single player and you're going to be running in circles, that's also that might be important, but once again, it's pretty far away from all of the other perks, seeing as it's back in the corner by itself. In single player especially, not so much in multiplayer, but quick revive, if you're in single player, is an absolute necessity. And Treyarch, when they were making this game, they realized that, because some people don't know this, but you can buy quick revive immediately as soon as you start a single player game. Not in multiplayer, but only in single player, because you start with 500 points and it costs 500 points. It's also located just a few steps from where you spawn and start the round. Also, if you go down in single player, it will revive you as though there's another person on your team, and when you go down, you have akimbo upgraded pistols, which shoot grenades, so you can clear out everyone around you so you won't have to worry about it. Now, let me see here, some other perks. Like, let's say you're playing Kino de Toten. Double tap becomes, it's almost a waste. Not only does it waste your money, it wastes your ammo like crazy. You go through twice as much ammo, and although it does more damage, you're likely to lose a lot more bullets just after they're dead, or just from some shots that miss. Now, it might seem like a good idea if you're in a corner, but that's the only time it'll seem like a good idea, because at long range shots, you're missing more, it makes you more inaccurate. Now, I'm going to be cutting off this video pretty soon, and we make it a couple more rounds, but this wasn't much of a game. Trust me. Me and my friends have gotten to much higher rounds than this just by playing the two of us, but this was sort of something I could use as a backdrop to my commentary. Now, I actually have some other zombie gameplays stored up, or I can start doing commentaries over top of my multiplayer gameplay, which I also have. If you guys can just let me know if you prefer zombies or multiplayer, I'd be happy to do either, because I already have the gameplay. So, depending on what you guys like watching more in the background, zombies I can obviously talk more about strategy, multiplayer I can talk more about weapons and good weapon combos and perk combos and things like that you might not have the chance to talk about in zombies.